Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Elevate Your Life and Business. My name is Marie, if you haven't been with me before, and on this channel, I like to share some of life's tips and tricks that I've learned in my journey, and I'm also documenting my entrepreneur path as well. And today's topic, I've been seeing a lot, and maybe you have too if you've been watching a lot of the entrepreneur channels or even just some of the regular channels as well. When it comes to self-help and self-improvement, a lot of people are talking about being high value. And so I wanted to dive into this topic today about what it means and what I think is something to consider when you're talking about a high value individual. Because there's a lot of people like, oh, I am a queen, especially females. They're like, oh, I am a queen. And it's like, have you done the work? I mean, have you actually put forth the effort? So today, let's talk about high value, guys, and what is it? So high value, at least in what I consider to be high value, and maybe you do too, it's anything that is considered expensive, right? High value could be like a high value car, a high value house, something. Okay, let's just break it down as simply as this, right? So high means that it's more than, right? Rather than low. Low value versus high value. Do you want a high value car or a low value car? Well, let's just use the car metaphor, right? So if it's a low value car, chances are there's some cheaper pieces. Chances are there wasn't as much time spent on that car, that the materials are not as great, that there isn't as many expensive bells and whistles, and maybe it doesn't go from 0 to 200. It's not that. Whereas a high value car, one, a lot of people want that, right? Let's just say you want a Lamborghini. A lot of people want a Lamborghini, but not many people can actually afford that, right? Because it's high value. In that Lamborghini, now I've never been in one. Someday I'd like to be in one, so I can tell you if it's true or not. But I'm going to take a wild guess that that's like premium leather seating, that it's got one of the fastest Bluetooth connections on there, that, I don't know if it has a comfortable ride or not, but chances are that it's made with very good materials. It is high quality. There's a lot of bells and whistles, and therefore it makes it high value because someone spent an extraordinary amount of time to create this concept for the car, to detailed and be precise in the manufacturing process of this car. And because of all this work, this product turns out to be high value. It is something that a lot of people would like to have if they could afford it. So not only is high value something that is expensive, it's also something that is either rare and or extremely useful. Okay, so we just kind of talked about the Lamborghini thing, and I just kind of hinted at it. So would you not agree that a Lamborghini is kind of rare? That there's not a lot of them on the streets, that you might, here in the big cities, you might see one or two occasionally, but if you're in a small town in Timbuktu, it's not like everybody has a Lamborghini in their driveway. It's rare. It's something that not a lot of people can get their hands on. And then there's the other side of it, which is it extremely useful? Well, this product gets you from point A to point B, and it saves time, and especially in a Lamborghini, and if it can get there, you can't do it legally, but you can get there pretty quickly if you wanted to with that horsepower, right? So it is expensive, it is rare, and it's useful. And that is what high value is. So now that we've kind of dissected that a little bit and what a high value means, let's break it down into a human being. High value. And here's a good question to ask at the end of this. Are you a high value individual? Okay, because I also want to point out one more thing before I forget. On that Lamborghini, would you not also agree that the maintenance on that thing must be astronomical? So it's not just the initial cost of the car, but it requires a lot of maintenance, and that maintenance is not cheap. So you're constantly having to put into it in order to keep it rare, in order to keep it running and keeping it effective. Let's talk about this in human terms now, shall we? So what is a high value person? Well, there's two things that I want to tell you right off the bat, right? Because in order to find out what something is, we have to figure out what something is not. So a high value person is not the dollar signs or the amount of zeros into someone's bank account. So let's just get that out of the way. Okay, if you have 10 zeros in your bank account, that does not mean that you are automatically a high value person. It could. You could have all these qualities to get to those 10 zeros in your bank account, but it does not guarantee that you are a high value person. So that one's out of the way. A high value person is also not just, and you can't just wake up one morning and go, I'm high value. Sorry. Doesn't work that way. You can't just wake up and decide one day that you're going to be high value. You can work on it, but you can't snap your fingertips and all of a sudden I'm high value. Doesn't work that way. Okay, so if you want to become a high value person, or if you want to discover if you already are a high value person, because my channel is for mostly entrepreneurs and people that are trying to improve their life. So chances are really good, guys, that if you're watching this, that you probably are or are on your way to being a high value individual. Okay, so let's start with the entrepreneur and changing your life, because I just said that's mostly who watches my channel, right? Your life is probably full of purpose. There's probably a big goal or there's some dream that you're out there chasing, just like I am. So your life has purpose. And I would also venture to guess that if you're watching these videos, that you're a person of integrity, that you stick to your morals and your codes and your values. And if you've watched the first few videos, one of the other things, or even the last couple that I've just done, you're also a person who has self-respect and confidence. And one of the whole reasons, everything in these videos leading up to this point is about building self-respect and confidence. And here's the big thing. You actually have to believe that you are worthy of respect. You have to actually build that confidence. These are things that cannot be faked. And that's why being high value can also not be faked. You got to put in the work, right? To build that Lamborghini, you actually have to put in the hours of time in putting the construction, laying the plans, finding the right materials. It takes a lot of time, money, and effort and thought to make that car. In order to make a high value person, in order to build yourself into being a high value individual. You can't just click your ruby red slippers and count to 3 and say, I just want to be a high value person. You have to put in the work. Or if you are high value, you've already put in the work and you know how crazy the amount of time that it takes in order to put all this together is. Because self-respect and confidence, I mean, heck, some people spend their whole lifetimes chasing that and will never actually achieve it. I hope and pray that you people that are watching this will. My beautiful soul friends, if you watch this and if you do take the time and if you build yourself correctly and if you build a core foundation that can handle any stress or any pressure, you can be high value. Another thing that a high value individual has is healthy boundaries, okay? So if we're taking that CEO who, let's just say that they are high value and it's not because of the amount of zeros in their bank account, they've got boundaries, right? They've got only certain people that report to them. Those people know what times they can actually contact that CEO, what times not to contact that CEO. Like, hey, don't call the CEO at 2 a.m. in the morning unless the company is literally on fire. Healthy boundaries, right? And this is where also my young entrepreneurs, especially men, okay? Just because you have the amount of zeros in the bank account and you've got every female panting after you, have boundaries, have self-respect. Just because they offer on a silver platter doesn't mean you should accept. Do you cost that little that you will take anyone and everyone? Self-respect. Healthy boundaries. For my female entrepreneurs, careful who you let into your life, especially on the business side of things, okay? Things are not always easy in business for women. Make sure that you have healthy boundaries and what you will and will not accept. Because if you don't watch it, if you're not careful, there are people that will try to get into your company and try to belittle you. You don't know what you're doing. You haven't been in here long enough. You can't lead us. I'm a better leader. Let me lead the team. No, healthy boundaries. This is my company. I will evolve and I will do everything I can do and be to make this company a success, to make sure that you have a healthy paycheck. Healthy boundaries. And one of the most important things as well to become a high value individual is that you have to be someone who is continuously growing and trying to improve. Because if you're not growing, you're going out the door dead. Either way, right? Because like even with the company aspect, even with the company metaphor, let's continue with that, shall we? So if you have a company, if you're not growing that company, there's competition nipping at your heels, and they will take your market share and they will take more and more and more until you're going out of business and you're going bankrupt. So if you're not growing, you're going. And that also equates to us as human beings. If you're not growing, you're going. You're getting older. You're getting stagnant. You're, starting to lose your mind. Like, you have to keep moving forward. You have to keep growing. And I will throw in here, this is one of the reasons why I have a very ambitious number. Sometimes I think I might be crazy how big it is, because there's a lot of zeros in that number. And I know, like, look, I haven't broken through 6 figures yet, okay? Like, the number that I'm chasing is really massive for quite a few reasons. One, I want to control my dopamine. But 2, it's so big that I could spend a lifetime chasing that number, forcing myself to grow, continually trying to be better to reach this number that I would like my business empire to be. If you're not growing, you're going. So like people and entrepreneurs that, reach, let's just say you reach 10 million and it's just like, oh, I reached the top of the hill, and it's like, what next? That's one of the reasons why you do have to be careful with money. It is not everything, but it is also a good gauge on where you're at in life and are you continually growing? Because if your bank account's growing, you are going to have to be growing in order to keep up with that bank account and or add to it. Another really important aspect of being a high value individual is that if you've done all these things, if you have the self-respect, if you have the confidence, the integrity, healthy boundaries, constantly growing and improving, if you have all these things, chances are is that you have a titanium core, that you are beautifully magnetic, that you will pull people to you without even trying. And I won't lie, like I've been having that popping up in my personal life quite a bit. Like I've only got like a few subscribers on here, but like in the last 6 months, like I've just had a lot of people coming up to me out in real life that I don't know, that are complete strangers that just come to me, and I'm like, oh boy, gonna have to learn how to handle that. You do become magnetic. You will pull people to you. And that is why this next aspect of being high value is super important. Do you bring value to others in relationships and social settings? So this could be a family. Do you bring value to your family? Do you bring value to your business and your coworkers? Do you bring value to your significant other? Now that you've built all this internal wealth, all this beautiful serenity, all this beautiful, pure power, because what I'm talking about, what this whole channel is about so far, because I'm still trying to break out of the 9 to 5, I haven't figured it out yet. I will figure it out. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I will break out of my 9 to 5, and I will be a multi-millionaire someday. Someday, I will make this happen. And the way that you do that is by becoming a high value person. And there's one more crevasse to being high value. If you have all this value, and if you have all this value to give, if you have become magnetic, if you are charismatic, if you've got 10 zeros in your bank account, if you are even decently well-spoken, anyone and everyone is going to want a piece of you. Why? Because you are high value. And that is a really good way to gauge if you are making it, if you are a high value individual. Do people come to you? Do they want things from you? Why? Because you have the knowledge, because you have that essence that pulls people in. And if you are high value, then there's one more thing that you've got to remember. And that is high value individuals, they're very selective about who they invest their time and energy into. They don't just give their time away for free. If you talk about the Iman Gajis and the Tony Robbins of the world, their time is very valuable, in the tens of thousands of dollars for like an hour of their time. They don't just give it away to anybody. And this could even go, like if you're a high value individual and you're a kindergarten teacher and everyone wants to know about how you keep your kids happy at school and how you keep your home life stable, and you can do it all. But you can't tell everybody, you can't coach everybody. Your time is valuable. So you will have to be selective in what candidates you can help improve in their classrooms that are willing and that you might think be really good proteges to follow you, right? Because you haven't got all day. You've got a family at home, you've got your own kids and your own classroom to take care of. You can't do it all. There's only one of you. There's only so much time, money, and effort you can put into other people. So you have to be selective. So let's get rid of this I am a queen without doing the work. Let's get rid of this king of the castle concept when you haven't even gotten off the couch. I don't think that's my audience, though. I don't think that's my audience at all. I think to you that are watching this that you are a high individual either already, because it's not about the amount of zeros in the bank account. And if you can have self-respect and confidence in yourself, genuinely self-confident, genuinely self-respecting, you can't fake that things, okay? People's brains are way too highly intelligent. Like even the stupidest individual you've ever run across, like, okay, the back of their mind is going to pick up on it and it's going to whisper in their ear, okay, like this person is not genuine. They don't mean it. You have to actually have self-confidence and self-respect. You also have to have a purpose, which is one of the first things I talk about in this channel. What is your purpose? What is your burden? And you need to pursue that with integrity, with values that you hold, in a code, and a personal code that you hold yourself to, because there's a lot of gray area in this world. And especially if you're an entrepreneur, and if you're especially building a business empire, look, everyone's going to want a piece of you. You better get a core code put together about what you will and will not do, where you don't lose your soul in the way up. Because eventually on the way up, everyone's going to want a piece of you. And that's in anything. If you're a high value individual, if you are this thing that I am talking about right here, right now, then you also need to be able to protect yourself, because everyone's going to want a piece of you. How did you do that? Or just the fact that you are that person. Oh, I want you in my life. You're so high value. You bring so much to my business, to my job, to my relationships. I want all your time. I want all your energy. So you have to have these healthy boundaries. We talk, at least in the entrepreneurial world, high value is spoken of. A high value individual. Can we get rid of the notion that just everybody's high value? We all start off in different places, but a high value individual, all these things that I'm talking about, you can't just snap your fingers overnight and have these things. Some of these people never will accomplish. They will never fully understand some of these concepts about having a healthy boundary. Some people don't have no boundaries at all, or they have too many boundaries. Because remember, healthy boundaries, it's not just keeping people out, it's also knowing who to let in. It goes both ways. Having a purpose, not just being here in life, just pedaling along, saying, okay, whatever comes next is going to come next. Like, hey, I want to accomplish something in this lifetime. Because we are meant to accomplish something. We are meant to take a burden. We are meant to carry a load. I hope sincerely that if you are watching this video, that you have a better understanding when you're on these entrepreneur sites and you're watching these other podcasters, what exactly high value individual is. Not everybody is a not everyone is a valuable, high value individual. Everyone is valuable in their own ways. But a high value individual, they are rare. They are expensive because they will spend the time being uncomfortable to accomplish all these things that most people don't want to do. They're extremely useful in people's personal lives, in relationships, in business. These are people that are so put together that they are useful in almost anything that they do. So my question to you today that I'm going to leave you with on this video is, are you a high value individual? Have you put in the work? Have you put in the time? Have you made something of yourself? Have you built that titanium core sanctuary so you know exactly who you are? And if you have accomplished all these things and a good test to see if you are a high value individual, are you magnetic? Do people want a piece of you? Do they want a piece of your time, your wisdom, your money? Do people just gravitate towards you? And I'm not just talking friends and family. I'm talking complete strangers or other business people. Do they want something from you? Are you high value? Have you done these things that we just talked about? And if you are, it's not an easy road. It is not an easy road at all to get there. If you're like, yep, check. I am all these things. Congratulations. Because not a lot of people can make it. Like I say, some people will spend a lifetime with unhealthy boundaries, with no purpose, no self-respect, and no integrity. You have done something truly incredible if you are saying yes, I have put in the time, I have put in the effort, and I have accomplished all these things. Then you are a high level individual. And to the person that's watching this that says, no, that's not me. I don't know if that'll ever be me. I don't have integrity. I don't have a purpose or healthy boundaries. I'm not selective about who I let into my life and who I invest my time and energy into, Marie. I have hope for you. Beautiful soul. I have hope for you because you can be a high level individual if you want to. The real question is are you willing to put in the time and effort and to be uncomfortable? These things are not easy to come by. These are things that you're going to have to go on an adventure on. You want self-respect, you're going to have to go on an adventure to earn it. These things are earned. Each little piece together is what makes a high value individual. But you can do it. You can do this. If there's nothing else I say on this channel, is that you can do anything you put your mind to. So yes, don't give up. Don't give up hope. You can be a high value individual. You just got to put in the time. You just have to put in the effort. Not everything is a snap your fingers and get it quick. And to be honest, you don't want that. Maybe I should do that in another video, but you do not want to win the lottery, okay? It's a dangerous thing to win money like that or to get lucky in that regard where something that's very valuable lands at your feet. It's a very dangerous game to play. So, beautiful soul that is watching this, if you are high value, congratulations. You've done something that not a lot of people can. And if you are not high value yet, if you have not checked most or all of these boxes, I have hope for you. This is something you can spend your whole life working on. And it will bring great value, not just to be considered high value, but it will bring great value to your life. These are things that are worthy of being chased. You too can be a high value individual. And if you ever want to just have a climate check to see if you're there, go out to a bar and just see who comes up. If you're magnetic, if you have accomplished this, if you are high value, don't be surprised if complete strangers just start coming up to you. It's wild, it's crazy, but it does happen. I hope this helps. I hope this gives a little more perspective, because most of the pretty much all the podcasts, I'm like one of the few female entrepreneurs that have not made it, who's documenting this stuff on the way up. So I know most of you guys are guys. So I hope this helps you. And especially when you're watching all these other podcasts about what high value means. I'll see you guys in the next video. If this was helpful for you, or if this gave you even a slightest bit of insight, if you could click on that like button, and if you could also click on the subscribe button so you don't miss another episode. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Have a good one. See you soon.